Hey there everybody, today I wanted to talk about the problem with Wingman Last Titan Standing, how it's actually potentially hurting Titanfall more than it's helping it. So Wingman LTS, in my opinion, is a great game mode, and it's one that I have been excited to play for a really long time. Standard LTS is one of my favorite game modes. The level of strategy and loadout synergy between your teams make battles much more of a thinking man's game while still retaining a high skill ceiling for weapons like the railgun and 40mm cannon. However, LTS is not without its flaws, with team size being one of the biggest culprits. Wingman takes out a lot of the random factor of a 6 vs 6 environment, as well as the potential to be steamrolled once you're down a Titan or two. With skillful play and intelligent positioning, it's quite possible to still win a game even if your Wingman loses his Titan, which is often not the case in standard LTS. So, Wingman LTS sounds like a great game mode, right? It's a 2 vs 2 game mode focused on communication and team play. In my opinion, it absolutely is an excellent game mode, and one that my friends and I have run competitively in private matches to great success. It's been one of the most fun and entertaining ways to play Titanfall yet. But it's not all sunshine and rainbows with Wingman LTS, unfortunately. When you bring it out as a matchmaking playlist, I found that it's rife with flaws that are simply not even the fault of the game mode itself, but rather its presentation. The biggest problem with this game mode is that it is the very first playlist on the matchmaking list. Combine that with players just trying the game out for the very first time in their origin game time, which is 48 hours of time to play the game for free for those that don't know. Maybe it's 72, I don't know, it doesn't really matter. But point is, it's free time for you to play the game if you claim it within a certain amount of time. Anyways, you have this Wingman LTS playlist littered with scrubs who are inevitably going to have a bad experience with the game. You know, it's just people who've never played before, they don't know what they're doing, and they're accidentally matching into LTS, and they don't know what's going on. It's absurd to me how many players load up Titanfall for the very first time, and instead of going to campaign where they ought to go, they just hit the very first playlist that pops up, and then they roll with that. So they're just trying to get right into a game and see what Titanfall's all about. And as soon as they enter the lobby, what do they see waiting for them? 2 veteran players in a voice chat together. The newbies get absolutely stomped with zero effort applied whatsoever, and their first impression of the game is quite the negative one. After being stomped like that, how many of these people are going to think to themselves, okay, alright, let's try another playlist that isn't specifically 2 vs 2 and see what's going on there? I don't think that's ever really going to happen. In fact, I'm beginning to question how many people who are playing Wingman accidentally even realize that they're playing a specifically 2 vs 2 playlist. They might not even have the faintest idea and think that the game is so dead that it can only support 4 players at a time, nobody else is even playing. To add to all this, I wanted to add an extra note based on my own experience, and I hope I don't come off the wrong way in sharing this. In the weeks that Wingman LTS has been out, I have not had a single good game in a public Wingman lobby. Ever. None. Not one. Every single game that I have played in has been a complete and utter stomp. This is not me talking about how great I am or my friends who I play with are, but rather that the opposition is almost exclusively no-gen, sub-level 10 players that have no idea at all what they're doing. Granted, now this game that you're seeing right now is Bible Clanger and I against a pair of guys that I know are very good, and he knows are very good. But this is honestly an out-of-the-average experience, and it's probably one of, if not the first times I've ever gone against somebody in Wingman LTS who I've heard of before, and I know is a good player, and I know we can have a competitive, intelligent match versus them that isn't just random whatever. But anyways, let's get back on topic. As much as I love Wingman and think that it's one of the best game modes to ever happen in Titanfall, I can't help but wonder how much better it would be if they would quite literally just pick it up and move it down a few slots in the list of playlists. I think it would be a very fun experience to see how much the player base for Wingman will inevitably drop once people stop randomly queuing into it with no idea of what's in store for them. Then again, the playlist might not even have any players at all after that, because all the good players I know never match into it because they almost never find any good matches themselves anyways. They don't, a lot of other players who I respect and know are very solid are having the same experience that I have, where they just get matched against a bunch of newbies over and over and over. It's not fun for them to stomp all the newbies. It's not fun for the newbies to get stomped. Why even go into that playlist and waste everyone's time by doing so? So, what are your thoughts on the competition in Wingman LTS? Am I crazy? Have you ever had a really good competitive match of Wingman, or has it always been a stomp one way or the other, either with you stomping people or you getting stomped? Let me know in the comment section down below. However, I do still think that no matter how much I like this game mode and think it's great, I'm going to have to play it in private matches with just my friends exclusively if I want to have any sort of competitive or even fun match. Until Wingman LTS is either moved, given a bunch of obnoxious warnings that let newbies know that they might not want to be there, or straight up locked until you reach a certain level requirement, I can't see myself ever matching into it ever again, unfortunately. So anyways, guys, thank you for watching. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. And as always, please don't forget to like and subscribe if you feel so inclined, and we'll see you next time. Take care.